Homelands, Huia White Puna, table number 4.
Table number 3, from Denivik, Rocky Hape Taiti.
The Goss lady, the big family that supports all sports. Ronnie Goss, table number 2, Kim Bolton.
On table number 1 from Wanganui, Joanne Kumiro.
All right, Shearers on the board. That was a good pace. Keep it the same, guys. 1 minute and 10 is the seal time. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 8 of these competitors. After this event, we'll know within a half an hour the only 4 that are coming back to contest the Ag ITO sponsored Open Wool Handling Final, and what a wonderful event that'll be tonight. Shearers, on your marks, get set, go! All right, the belly has to come out, the first lot of wool on the sheep. That is the crusty bit. That's worth bugger all on, even on a good day. The wool handler removes that. We call it the frib. It's crusty. It has little value. The problem with that is that if it falls into any other part of the fleece, it contaminates and downgrades. So the wool handler removes that crusty bit, cruddy bit, and straight away they're creating value for the wool grower. Then underneath the undermine, around the tail of the sheep, there's a little bit of wool. Sometimes it has a little bit of dags there, and that's where they go to the toilet. They don't wear nappies, sheep, they just do it out in the open. So there might be a little bit left on there, so the wool handler separates that bit as well. That's not worth a lot, but the worst part is that frib. Around behind the ears is the top notch. That's got to be taken off as well, so they separate that, and I think Tuma's got that such. That's the modulated fibre. The wool handler now gets onto the nice, beautiful fleece wool. On a good day, it's worth about $3 to $4, and that's the part that they want to put in the wool pack, and that's the part that creates all the money. The shearer cuts it off, the pressman does it, but it's the wool handler who creates value for the farmer. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, getting ready for the first throw. And Hoppy, you can see it from up there. How do they fall?
First one, Ronnie. Pretty near perfect. Joanne, not far off that either. Little ruffle. Huia, little small overhang, but pretty good. And Joel, all but perfect. Not a lot in it, Cotto. Getting it flat on the table. No ruffles or rumpled wool. Wants to sit dead flat. Nothing overhanging. Covering the table is the aim of the exercise. Takes a little bit to get it like that. You've got to watch your pickup. You've got to get your fleece picked up and organised well beforehand, and get your throw with height and distance pretty well spot on, especially with fleeces like these that are big and bulky. Holding together, but not cotted, so they're not matted or anything like that. They just hold together, and that's all. Now the wool come back to the shearer. Shearers up the neck. Wool handlers getting that bit of modulated short top knot wool, which is hollow, so it doesn't attract the dye like the rest of the main body of the fleece wool will. They get that before it touches the fleece. Come back to sort out their fleece, skirt it, roll it up, and then get back again with the shearers keeping it the same pace and ready for the next fleece, Cotto.
That's what happens, ladies and gentlemen, and the virtues of wool, it doesn't catch on fire, it creates warmth, and that's the ones that the flash hotels in the world are demanding on their floors. Pure natural wool. Rocky Hape, what a beautiful throw. How's Huia Puna White? She had that bottom lip poking out saying, oh, please land nicely. Ronnie Goss has a beautiful throw there. Rocky Hape, he's a little bit unco. He's not like the females where they sort of glide around the table. Rocky's a man and he just walks around like a gigantor, where the ladies seem to glide around the tables. Tuma.
They sure are gliding. Ronnie Goss on table number 2. She just floats around. She's a bit of a cruiser. Looks like she's cruising, but she is really doing the damage up there. We've got Joel Henare. He's another one. He looks like he's cruising, but he's actually going hard. Rocky Hapetaite, he's 7 foot. He doesn't really need to move far from the board at all to be able to skirt these fleeces. And we've got Huia White putting it down there on table number 4. Experience is just oozing through, Ian.
In the wool shed, it's all about teamwork. The farmer has his place to bring the sheep in. Shearer has his job, getting the wool off them. The wool handler, they have their job, preparing the wool. The presser presses it. Contractor might organise it all, but the wool handler has a job to give, but they all have a job, including the wool handler, with probably the main job to give the farmer best commercial advantage for his clip. Joanne, roll-up time, bridge to neck, compact, places it in the bin. Getting ready to throw the next fleece. Pick it up, Ronnie's on the table. Pretty well spot on, slight ruffle at one end. Rocky, on the table. Hui is on the table. Joanne's on the table. There's nothing in those throws, Cotto.
Oh, you'd have to go with Ronnie Goss as having the best throw that time.
Very slightly.
Even a blind man can see that.
Very slightly.
And I'm pretty blind at the best of times. But we got here with Joanne Kumaroa. There's one more fleece in the pen and she's right on her game, ladies and gentlemen. This is the lady that needs all the support she gets. Most people will be sitting at home with a blanket around their shoulders, but this lady says, I'm rising out. She's like that Phoenix Hawkins, rises out of the ashes as she just goes it. She throws everything into it. She's been a world champion. She's been a New Zealand team member for so many years, and she can't lie down. She wants to give it another shot, and we wish her well as she just keeps going. Joanne Kumaroa here on table number 1. Ronnie Goss, I've always said she's the most boring wool handler in the world because she shows no emotion to ma.
She certainly doesn't. Down the last side work these shearers. All the wool handlers have still got a fleece on the table except for Ronnie Goss. Look at Ronnie Goss. She is kind of boring, but she is an awesome competitor. Back to the table. Back to the board run these shearers. One more in the pens, Ian.
Yep. Now Cotto, I think Cotto's biased toward Ronnie. I was trying not to influence the judges. Rocky's fleece on the table, all the fleeces on the table. A little bit of some overhang there on Ronnie's one. Rocky's a little bit ruffled. Joe's got a little bit of a overhang there.
Oh no, Rocky had the best throw. Hands down, even a blind man could have seen that. Hoppy. No, don't let me put you off. Carry on.
Back to the sheep, round the crutch area. All the wool handlers working away there. This is what happens day in, day out.
Edwin Perry, can you report to the announcer's desk? Edwin Perry. Sorry, Ian.
Shearers all now going up the neck. Wool handlers just getting that little bit of top knot. Working their way round onto the long blow. That gives the wool handlers an opportunity to come back to the table, sort their fleece out for a few seconds. Then they have to dash back, get the other side of the cheek. Back to the table again. Quick clean up on the table for Ronnie. Doesn't want to leave any wool lying on that. The judges watch that and they want to see it all taken off the table before the next fleece is thrown. Ronnie's on the table. Hui is on the table. Joanne's on the table. Rocky's on the table. I'll let you decide which is the best one, Cotto. Seeing I'm no good.
Oh, I've closed both eyes, but it'll have to go to Joanne Kumero. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the best throw this last fleece round time. She's got it on there flat to stack. It's like cash. It stacks flat. She's got a little bit behind because here comes the lady. Ronnie Gosh shows no emotion. She's cool. She's calm, this lady, and she's rolled up the fleece now. Huya Puna White's grabbing a little bit of fresh air. She sucks it in now. She's only got the brim in her hand. Tuma, how's that lady on table number 1 going up there?
Joanne Kumidor pushes the table out of the road to give her a bit more room to move. The poor old judge has got nowhere to move, so they get out of the road, Judge. All these wool handlers have got broom in hand now. Joanne hasn't got a lot of work left to do. She's not going to be far behind at the time points. 1 minute 10 seconds, I think it is. And Joanne, she's going to be putting her hands up very, very shortly. Here she goes. Oh, Rocky and Ronnie. Fire down here. Woo.
Give them a good hand.
Yeah, give them a hand, ladies and gentlemen. We have 2 heats, 1 heat to come.